Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Sunday, April 7th, 2024, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Now Mind You podcast.
Yep, 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 yep.
Buckshot. This
Boom,
is
boom, boom.
episode 112 Manga. We are your hosts. I'm TJ.
I'm Bryce.
And I'm Matt. No, Matt isn't here today. He had a conflict, and also I'm back. Sorry
Yeah.
for my
And he
absences. A
back.
lot of family stuff just kept creeping up on me the past few Sundays, and then we had, the Easter break for the holiday or whatever.
Yes, we
But I'm
did.
back. I'm back, y'all, and it feels good to be back. And I got to give a thank you to Bryce in person and to Matt on the episode for just holding it down and doing such a great job with the
Wow.
past two episodes, man. You guys were really killing it. So just thank you both.
Appreciate that, man.
No,
Appreciate
well,
that.
I appreciate you, dog. As far as announcements go, typical stuff. Check out all our pages, check out our social media. What else? What else? What else? On our Instagram page, I've been dropping like some questions of the day on Thursdays, just
Which I think
random
is great.
questions. So
I,
thank you for that, Bryce. Like, if you guys have any thoughts on them, just please feel free to engage or message us, whatever.
please.
Um,
I love it.
yeah, we just to get your thoughts on random things, y'all. But as far as the docket is concerned, today we are going to be, covering our typical docket. Let's say we get everything minus Kaiju and Dragon Ball Super, but we have Hajime no Ippo, Sakamoto Days, Chainsaw Man, and Jujutsu Kaisen. We will go over our favorite chapter this past week, as well as our topic of the week, which is what, Bryce, this week?
What anime/manga world would we vacation in?
A very, very good question, actually, because as a big, well, we'll get into it, but as big of a fan we are of some shonen, you can't live in
Hell,
all them worlds, dog. Like, you can't
hell
even
no.
vacation in them. Like, that vacation might
Like
get
it.
cut abruptly because somebody went psycho.
Yep.
With that, I'll kick us off. Let me take us into Hajime no Ippo, George Morikawa. I will be covering chapter 1452, The Grim Reaper's First Move, as well as chapter 1453, which is titled Just As You See. But essentially, just to give you guys a brief summary of both chapters, we're in the thick of it now. So it's a title match. It's Rosario versus Mashiba going into full effect. And the long and short of it is this, right? We know that coming into this title fight, there was a bunch of shenanigans going on with Rosario's camp, in that Rosario had effect. Well, he was in prison for one, for just, I think it was like a weapons charge, for one, and for two, because of his prison stint, he essentially messed up his weight cut, right? So he was really coming close to missing weight, which would have just disassembled this whole title event, which would have ruined Mashiba's chances for obtaining the world title, right? Somehow manages to make weight, right? Gets rehydrated, comes into fight. But if he messes up his weight cut, what is his strategy going to have to be? He's going to have to go into like fucking fifth gear in the first round and try to end this in the first half of the rounds, right? Typical title fight's going to be what, 12 rounds? So he wants to get that finished within the first six. Because, if his weight cut's messed up, his stamina is going to be out the window. So you would expect someone like Mashiba, or at least a reasonable strategy from someone like Mashiba would be, all right, let's just let him gas himself out, and then we'll capitalize on his bad weight management in the second half of the fight and get the finish that way. But Mashiba was like, y'all must not remember that I'm from the streets. And as soon as the bell goes off, he is in Rosario's face and he is peppering him with his flicker jab, peppering him with the right hand, trying to hit him with his like newfound short uppercut. And Rosario's no slouch. I mean, at the end of the day, weird hairstyle, humanity in question or not, 21 Savage, Kid Buu energy or not, he's still a world champ, right? So he can hang in there. He's not exactly a slouch. So we just see him kind of working through a barrage of Mashiba's punches. Mashiba's not really letting him get his breath back. But then all of a sudden, Rosario does that weird thing that he did when he was like semi-dehydrated mid-weight cut, going like, you're not giving me a chance to do this, that, and third. This feels hella unfair. And he's getting into that unfair mode, which seems to be his trigger for getting into the zone. So all of a sudden he's like dodging and parrying through all of Mashiba's flicker jabs, getting to the inside and turning it into an infight. And Mashiba's a range fighter, so he doesn't want to stay in that. but he's shown that he can handle himself in an infight too. So it kind of stops there, but we end up with a few scenes where basically everybody in the Ippo crew's like, we gotta fucking fight. This is a high level, high caliber fight. So we won't have any Ippo next week. I mean, the chapter said there's going to be a break next week, but it also said that in the previous chapter, so who the fuck knows? Um, but this shit's heating up. Right now in the Ippo universe, it feels like Mashiba is getting the best fights and getting the most love from the author. It would be nice to see, the main fucking character get back in there, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, what I think, let's see where this goes. Um, I feel like Mashiba is going to win, but it wouldn't necessarily be out of the realm of possibility if a non-protagonist character or non-main protagonist character loses too. But this is going to be a fight to remember for sure. With that, I will pass it over to Bryce to take us
Yeah.
into Chainsaw Man.
All right. So, Chainsaw Man was Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man,
Man, yeah.
like a motherfucker. So, we're going into two chapters.
Mhm.
We're gonna start with chapter 255, then we'll go into chapter two. Oh, excuse me. That is not that. That is there we go. Chapter 160 and chapter 161. Now, going back into the previous chapter, we had Asa talking with the Katana Devil as well as the Nail Devil and having a very interesting conversation. We got to remember this is still like a love story. It's just, you know, it's a Fujimoto love story, so it's fucking weird,
And
um,
scary. Let's not
and
forget
scary.
scary.
Actually, it's Yoru. Yoru is having a conversation with the Katana Devil, which Katana Devil's, trying to protect whatever he is, but we find out the Katana Devil doesn't even know what the fuck they're protecting.
Hmm.
And she tells him that, yo, you're protecting the fucking Chainsaw Man.
Yep.
Um, and they kind of have this conversation about love, how Yoru like needs to kill the Chainsaw Man and all of this, which is a very weird conversation, but hey, it is what it is. Then we have, of course, the this one-eyed devil hunter guy. He's trying to kind of keep control with it, but clearly that's not gonna happen. And we had like the craziest scene with this dude where Katana Devils pretty much chooses what side he's on and
Yeah.
tries to kill him, but immediately this dude is out the paint. Like this motherfucker is a ninja. Like I don't even know where he went, but we still hear he still has like voice bubbles and shit.
Yeah.
He basically just like, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna be back with somebody to kill y'all. Like I can't do
Yeah.
it. I'll be back.
You haven't
Uh,
seen the last of me. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So then we're gonna see something interesting happen between Yoru and Asa. Yoru is hell bent on killing Chainsaw Man. Asa really didn't really have a reason to. She's just kind of going for it. But now that she knows for sure Chainsaw Man is Denji, how this plays out will be very interesting. Um, Now going into chapter 161. Sorry, that was a little bit of a connector to this chapter, as I just said. Asa finds out that Denji is Chainsaw Man. They break into the lab where Chainsaw Man was being dissected, and when they bust in, they pretty much like had these boxes that were on the side. Why the fuck they're there? I have no idea. They bust in, they talk to the doctors, and they're just like, "Yo, you just came in. Where's Chainsaw Man?" They're like, "Dude,
Just
like we
knocked him
just
over.
cut him up and put him like neatly in the corner." Then you bust in the room and guess what? Now all the pieces are gone. So like, yeah,
Like,
you put them back together. They're like, fuck you, you do it. We done. Which is hilarious. Like I said, this is the craziest place to work at because motherfuckers just been through so much shit. Like a dude with two like swords for hands come through telling you what to do, and you like, fuck you, man. We did our job. We ain't doing this shit. Anyway, so the group start opening the boxes and putting together the pieces. Um, and of course, we get some weird dialogue. Of course, find the wiener. We have the heart, putting the pieces together. This chapter is so fucking weird. I'm going through it again. Um, and of course, the chapter ends with Asa finding Denji's head and her putting it together, and of course the one-eyed devil investigator coming back with, I want to say that Shao. I can't remember her name. Um, um,
I'll be honest, man. I can't remember her name either.
the badass, the
Yeah,
badass. You're the badass Chinese woman that be coming in and fucking shit up. Yeah. Good chapter. Um, you know, we're starting to get the ball moving. I'm hoping that it'll be interesting to see the conversation between Denji and Asa. Um, I'm really more curious about. I noticed this before how the story goes. We have like some time with Asa, then we switch over to Denji. We had the time with Denji, now we're gonna switch back over to Asa. I'm hoping now that she's aware, we're kind of gonna just have them together and just have the story just take place from both perspectives, and we won't get that split because I really want to see Denji's headspace right now.
mhm.
I really want to have him talk to somebody about his dad, about his, I mean, like his sister missing now. um yeah. um Solid chapter. We're moving, you know. We definitely are moving. um but that's all really I got to say about it. TJ, what you think?
Personally, it was, I think, wacky
Very wacky.
kind of describes the past few chapters,
Hmm.
in the sense that a lot of these interactions and dialogue that are occurring seem to be just have some type of comedic effect to them, and that's like, why, what are you talking about, right? Like, why are you talking about this stuff when there's all this shit, high stakes, that's currently going on? You have the time to be doing bits. Like, for instance, what was it, 2 chapters ago when Asa fell forward and Fam was like, you gotta be hella stealthy, and she's like, you got it, and then boom, right? It was kind
Yeah.
of like a slapstick wacky bit, but I don't know, man. Like, I'm kind of along the thought of, let's just hurry this up. There are some
Yeah.
bigger plots at work here, namely Death Devil, right? The other
Denzel.
Chainsaw Man. Yeah, we're on the same page, bro. Like, it's just, where what is the status of that, right? How, like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, we finally do get the reveal of Denji, or at least to Asa, that Denji is the Chainsaw Man, even though the way they revealed it was like, Jesus Christ, couldn't
Yeah.
be any more Fujimoto than that. But it was just, it's like, okay, I will accept this if the payoff is we get some more forward momentum with the bigger things at stake. Like, all right, when is Death gonna make an appearance? We already know who Death is.
Yeah.
Who's the other Chainsaw Man? You talked about Denji's dad. Same. Like, what's that origin story? Especially since we're getting more vignettes into Denji's subconscious, where that is still a pretty big thought that keeps recurring, right? Like him killing his dad, essentially, right? So yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more resolution in that regard. Um, but bright side, I mean, I'm not trying to just, spend my time criticizing Chainsaw Man for the worst. Like, the frequency of chapters has been pretty awesome. We've gotten like
Yeah, it
three
has.
or 4 weeks
Yes.
of just Chainsaw Man. So that's actually been really nice, for what it's worth. But that's
Yes.
me. That's me.
No, I appreciate it too. I feel like the one thing about Chainsaw Man is I feel like it's not really a manga that that the routine gets old,
Hmm.
because one, we're switching main characters. And two, there's just always something wacky, you know? It's
Yeah.
always something to like catch your attention. So even if it's just like what the fuck is going on, you can at least be present with it. Um and I yeah, that's I can't be mad at it. You can, but it's they haven't it's not something to like focus on
Right.
yet.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, solid for Chainsaw Man. Uh,
Yeah.
what's the next one, TJ?
All right, let me take us into Sakamoto Days.
Ooh, we.
Yuto Suzuki, chapter 161, titled Shark. Last panel, Shishiba said it was me. I'm niggas to Amane.
Yes, he did.
Cause Amane's like, hey bro, so like, where's my dad? And Shishiba was like, I killed him, dog. That was it. But how would I summarize this chapter? Look, all right, I'm gonna put this in a meme type context. No one, silence. Absolutely no one, silence. Yuto Suzuki, I let me up the violence. Like
Yeah,
nobody asked for this, dog. Nobody's out here telling you to top yourself every single chapter. No one, to the best of my knowledge, has you just been giving that out for free. No one's asked you to do it. We were fine with what you had 10 arcs ago. If I'm being honest, it would have still been top shelf, right?
yeah,
But dude, Osalagi, I feel like she gets the craziest entries. And that's saying something in Sakamoto days.
yeah. It does. It
Um,
definitely does. She a
like
goddamn horror movie icon.
she bro, like I'm starting to wonder who's the Broly in the order. Now I thought it was Mr. Takamura, right?
Mm,
But every one of Osalagi's appearances gives a stronger case for her being that archetype. Like, if I'm being honest, because just out of nowhere, bro. Like, what? And her origin story is like, no, bro, she completely normal upbringing. She's just a country girl who's crazy strong. like,
yeah.
like I don't know. I don't know, Bryce. like,
Hey
anyway.
man, look. Sometimes, man, something about that country just build that muscle in you.
Especially in this
And and
universe.
and she a goth, she a emo. She don't give a fuck about none of that. So
Bro,
you
I
know,
mean, we knew what time it was when we saw the black wedding dress, but that's neither here nor there, right?
yeah.
Anybody who gravitates toward a wedding dress, okay, relax.
And
A
black of
wedding
all things.
dress, and you're not like in the matrimonial way, like you know what I mean? Like, okay, that's
Yeah.
weird. And a black wedding dress, okay,
She married
weirder.
to the game. That's what it
Married
is. She
to the
married to the
game.
game.
She married to the game, bro.
She
Uh,
married to the game. She dressed in black because she going to funerals too. It's a wedding and a funeral on the same. It's the same program. Same program.
but
Yeah.
accurate, bro.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so let me just get into my review and my thoughts. First and foremost, I thought that Amane kind of chewing out Shishiba while he was just trying to get an answer as to like, hey, bro, why did you kill my dad? It's not even on some revenge shit. I know my father was an assassin. I'm the son of an assassin. I get this shit. Just give me a reason so I can get some type of closure. I don't know why I like that scene so much, but I think it was necessary to kind of show that in that world, it's kind of like
Niggas
unexpected
die
deaths
every
in
day,
like
B.
in Naruto or something like that. It's like it is like a niggas die every day beat, but it's not on some I'm seeking revenge. It's like, hey, bro, we know what the game was. We know it's a cold game. Just give me some closure, dog. Why did my dad have to get murked? Right? I still personally think that Yotsumura is in the field somewhere and he's gonna make a surprise appearance, right? But
Yeah, in what way though? That's the thing. Like,
yeah,
where does it
dude.
fucking fit?
But like, okay, so the Yotsumura Amane exchange, I really dug. Not Yotsumura, Shishiba Amane exchange, and then Shishiba kind of taking the hit off of that fucking flamethrower lightsaber from Carolina Reaper, who, by the way, hey bro, you can just always have that blindfold on. Let's just get that out of the way right there.
Yeah,
Was insane. But then, right, like, bro, I don't know if Shishiba's gonna make it because that thing looked like it caught her because it's a flamethrower, so it's gonna cauterize as it cuts, right?
yeah,
So there's not gonna be any like all right reconnected. But then again, I mean, we live in a world where like Kumanomi loses an arm to Hio and comes back with a fucking robot arm, right? So they might have the technology on some Star Wars shit. wouldn't be out of the pocket for Sakamoto Days because they be pulling some things, right? I mean, look at
Mhm.
fucking Mr. Kashima. He's basically like Wally slash Johnny Five right now, right? So who knows, right? Anyway, I digress. I digress hard. But okay, so Shishiba like takes that sacrificial hit, and it was really on some. It gave me some Piccolo vibes. My body just, or like some Piccolo, Sasuke vibes. So like my body moved on its own, right?
Yeah,
Piccolo to Gohan, Sasuke to
yeah.
Naruto. Like shit, man. Come on now. You just gonna leave me out here? I'm technically speaking still a minor. You're gonna leave me with these fucking monsters because Kumanomi and fucking Carolina Reaper show up on cue. But then, oh my god, like true fear. I don't even want to say descends. Really, it's ascends from the depths of hell, maybe. You just see the fucking saw show up like a fucking
Uh,
shark's, like hence the title of the chapter, Shark, right? Like a
yeah.
fucking shark, so like dana 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 disappears. Then makes a circle around fucking Carolina Reaper. Homie gets dropped into hell. What pops back out? Him in pieces. I was like, come on, Yuto Suzuki. First of all, even though the actual dismembering was hidden off screen, that's still an extremely
That was
violent outcome.
that motherfucker gone, gone.
He's not coming back,
He's
bro.
not coming back.
Hey, they're gonna talk to what was his brother's name? Fucking Peaches or whatever. He had a weird. It was like Carolina Reaper and uh
Magneto.
no, not Magneto. Remember his brother was the dude who had the binding
Oh yeah, S&M.
thing. S&M. It was
What was his name though? Club Jam or something like that?
yes, you're right. It was Club Jam. Oh my god, Bryce. Yes. Uh Club Jam. Like he's like, hey, Club Jam, you had a brother, basically. You an orphan now, bro. But
Yeah,
but
that
like
bloodline is done.
that bloodline is done, bro. Like she dismembered this nigga. Like I this is supposed to be for
Hey,
kids,
ain't no
y'all.
words. Ain't no
Shonen
words.
Shonen Jump is supposed to be for kids. I'm an adult and I'm like, man, I wouldn't let my kid read this. I don't know that I could let my kid read this. This is violent as
To
hell.
be fair, you did see it. You did
Yeah,
see it. You just know how it happened.
right, right. Well, I come on, bro. The limbs kind of just fucking exploding out isn't great either.
That's
But you're
true.
not wrong. And then she gets that fucking what is it? Is it the Omen or whatever the fuck type entry where she
The
like comes
grudge.
out, crawls
The
out the
grudge,
grudge, yeah,
bro.
comes out
The
all
grudge.
creepy and shit. I'm like, yo, that was definitely on purpose.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, for one, Shishiba was like, oh shit, she's pissed. Amani was like, the fuck? Kumanomi was like, the fuck? like,
Yep.
like she had that look of fear on her face. And of course, Osuragi, she's actually kind of similar to Kumanomi, mentality
Mm.
wise, in that it's either you with us or you with them.
Yep.
There's no in between. It's 0 or 100. You're a friend or you're a foe. So she
She was just
automatically
like, she like,
assumed,
who these niggas? He like, yo,
right.
not him, not little man, the other
But
two.
it was too late. She was already on his neck, bro.
Yep.
Like she's like, "Did you
Yep.
hurt him?" Well, if you would allow me to speak, like, but and then it cuts over to something that we've already known about the dual personalities and slur, right?
Hmm.
But this was a little bit different because not only does Leon remember, I'm almost like, man, who's in control right now? Um, and it looked like that strike that Nagamo did to the heart was the trigger because for all intents and purposes, Suzuki should be dead, right? So
Yeah.
that nigga should be gone. But Rion seems to have taken over, Rion Akao. And here's the thing: not only does Nagumo recognize it in the voice, but if you look at Uzuki's face, those are Rion's eyes. Like the
Hmm.
eyelashes are a little bit more detailed. The eyes remind you of an anxiety youngster. Was it? Oh my god, I can't believe it. Riona Cow. Why can't I remember anxiety youngster's first name right now? I'm fucking blanking. This is
Um, it's not Asa, it's
Akira. I think it's
Akira.
Akira Akao,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
like Akira and her aunt have the same type of eyes, so we're seeing those eyes show up on Uzuki's face, and even the mouth looks slightly different, and there appears to be like some scarring on the cheek. Now I don't know if that's related to Nagamo's attack, or if that's like just a scar that maybe Leon acquired at some point during that time skip between the high school bout and when Sakamoto and Uzuki had that final confrontation. But speaking of which, we also have to keep in mind that Sakamoto is still on the way.
Mm.
So who knows how this plays out? I think the CEO, the chairman of the JA, Asaki, honestly think he's going to be fine. I don't think anything's really going to happen to him, but I could very well be wrong.
Mm.
Um, I do think something might happen to Nagamo though. As slick of a ninja as he is, it feels like that Whoopi Goldberg and goes like you in danger, right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel like Sakamoto might be too late. It just gives me that vibe. But I'm gonna pass it over to you, Bryce. There was a lot going on, but I'm passing it over to you.
Yeah, I think you covered pretty much the basis of it. Like one, she's scary as hell.
Mhm.
Uh, two, like with this transformation thing, now I have the question like, does this affect the body? Like,
Mhm.
does he say, yo, that was a kill shot? Like, how the fuck are you even still standing? She's like, yo, that was pretty good. That was really fucking good. He's like, yo, what? Um, so maybe we're gonna maybe like there's more going on with like the physical aspect of it. Um, just kind of getting to the basis of like how this fusion happened. Is it just
Yeah.
like some weird thing where her mind's just in there? Does she have like this weird ability where it's like a psychic implant or some shit? You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Um, yeah, just more questions than anything. There's still a lot to this picture that we still need to get. Like how does Mr. Hardboiled fit into this? How does the
Yeah.
JAA fit into this? Um, yeah, there's a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if the president, it's one of those things where if this turned out to be like what's that anime? Full Metal Alchemist,
Mhm.
where the JAA is actually the villains, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, it feels
It's
like
just
it's been laying some groundwork in that direction.
yeah, because you can't really be mad. Well, you can be mad at some of them, but you can't really be mad at all of Slur's group.
Right.
Um, so yeah, how this plays out later is going to be very interesting.
Indeed.
Solid chapter as always. Sakamoto just ain't missing.
No, not at all.
Sakamoto ain't missing.
Not at all.
Speaking of
Well,
mess,
uh-oh. Go ahead.
we going into Jujutsu Kaisen.
Can I just say before we go in, like the fact that we're reacting this way to Jujutsu Kaisen is kind of like heartbreaking, man. It was the vibe for a long bit, like not even a little bit for a long time, man. Now it's just like me, let's get through this.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I said it before. This is just how I feel. There is I felt like this with One Piece.
Mm.
There is a point in time with a manga chapter, with chapters, with an arc, where every chapter just kind of squeezes this metaphorical rubber band.
Mhm.
And it could get tighter and it could get tighter and it could get more intense and more intense and it just gets good and it gets better and you just want to keep reading. But then
Mhm.
at some point, if you keep staying there, if you stay at that one point with no change, with no directory, it gets it, you just recognize that that rubber band just ain't there. It's never gonna snap.
Right.
It's just building up for nothing, for no reason whatsoever. That's how I feel is going on with Jujutsu Kaisen.
Hmm.
Um, it's we could have stopped when Gojo died. We could have stopped when Sukuna almost got taken out by Yuta and Yuji. At this point, it's just like, why are we here? What are you trying to accomplish? What is this even going to accomplish? You're not going to kill Sukuna off. This isn't
Right.
the finale. So like, why is this fight happening? Um, yeah, that's really just that. But I will say something. I feel like Gege watches our shit because he did something I was not expecting and I appreciate it.
Mm.
What did he do? he added a capoeira nigga in this goddamn art. Goddamn Miguel is a fucking capoeira nigga, a capoeirista. I gotta appreciate that. Y'all don't know, I do capoeira.
This is
Um,
true.
and yeah, so let's get into it. Chapter 100, excuse me, chapter 255. We're starting off from the chapter that came out what like 2 weeks ago. Um,
Hmm.
yes, Miguel saved Mr. One. I can't remember his name right now. Uh
Kusakabe.
Kusakabe, saved the Kusakabe with this other guy who's got nipple pasties on. Um good choice. Good choice. Um yeah. Got Sukuna's like, okay, well, whatever. We get a flashback of Miguel having a conversation with Yuta in regards to like the Sukuna situation and after the fight. Of course, there was a lot of prep time for this. Um and pretty much just kind of having this conversation of what to do and how to get involved. And it turns out that basically the only reason why they're getting involved was because they were spared by um was it Minako? What was the teacher? The teacher spared them after the whole ghetto situation. And so
Yeah.
they felt in debt to them. And so he decided to help, which I think is a really cool kind of aspect, like as they were saying, the they don't really have a reason to get involved with this shit. And why would they, honestly? You
Right.
know,
It's Sukuna.
yeah, it's Sakuna, and this motherfucker just it's a problem you kind of don't want to have.
Right.
You
Right.
know, he's gonna stay in Japan. Let this motherfucker be in Japan. So instead they decide to get involved, and they start to bring the action to Sakuna pretty quick, and we get an analysis of their Jujutsu Kaisen abilities. Their we know what they could do. Um, Pretty much, the Mr. Nipple Pasties has the ability with his hand, where he can grab things, um, and whatever damage the hand gets dealt, apparently he gets like 10% of that. And then Miguel has a very interesting ability where I'm gonna use the bubbles they have to explain the ability. So Mr. Nipple Pasty. LaRue's curse technique, his name is LaRue, is heart catch. It grabs the target of the curse techniques. He can restore the virtual hand after it's destroyed multiple times, but 1/10 of the damage returns to the main body, which is LaRue. Now the other person is Miguel, whose curse technique is prayer song. The beat he keeps with his body drives away curses and strengthens his physical abilities. Awesome fucking ability. Just fucking awesome. Um, and pretty much this is apparently like I see why he got recruited. Um, Miguel's curse technique has no domain and basically buffs and debuffs himself and his opponent. It's convenient but not very scary. So he's just a good all around type. Um, which honestly probably is what you need with Sakota. Because Sakota's a goddamn problem out here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see. Um, Going further, we have this weird. We talked about this in the chat. This weird conversation between Gojo and Miguel, where Gojo's like, "Yeah, well, his superior body, his bone structure and everything." Like Miguel, like,
It's
man,
like
don't be racist.
relax. Yeah.
Relax, bro. Chill. I'm not that nigga just because I'm black. This it's the powers. It's more than that. I'm just that nigga. Come on.
Uh,
You better than this, Sukuna. You better than this, Gojo. Um, and then we kind of have a battle with Yuji still trying. He gets a hand with Sukuna. We have to remember this is something that they brought up too. Um, Yuji, when Yuji connects with Sukuna, Sukuna loses power,
mhm.
which is not good for his situation right now. Um, And then of course Maki gets back in the fight and they're trying to keep it going. And of course Sukuna catches LaRue with a black flash. So this is another thing that's crazy about Jujutsu Kaisen, in that, just like these random explanations for things, I'm not mad at them per se, but I do feel like that, we should at this point, we should know what it means if somebody starts doing a black flash,
Right, right.
we have, so going into 256, um Inhuman Makio Shinjuku Showdown, part 28. It's a part 28, y'all. Jesus Christ.
Hmm.
Anyway, um, Gojo talks about how he can't use Black Flash. And I'm just gonna repeat it because it's a lot. Um, Black Flash is a distortion in space that arises when a sorcerer applies curse energy within point a lot of 0.1 seconds of a physical blow. I feel like this is lacking in, as an explanation. If that all there is to it, then I should be able to do it at will. Imagine I throw a straight punch with cursed energy. There are three types of cursed energy it possesses. One, cursed energy reinforcing my fist. Two, cursed energy striking my opponent. And three, cursed energy bearing those two. Um, Also, timing isn't the only thing. Blending these three also cause Black Flash to arise or not arise. No one except me can actually adjust. Furthermore, this blend changes according to the environment at the time, which includes the opponent's curse energy and the condition of your own body. It may sound funny, but I think even air temperature and humidity have an impact. After all, Black Flash is about the space itself. In other words, there's no single right answer to the conditions for using Black Flash. Besides, when I fight seriously, curse techniques intertwine with physical blows. In a situation like that, Black Flash is practically up to luck even for me. The truth is, Nanami has done it more times concisely than I have, but I'm above in the total number. Plus, my fights end so fast that I don't get many chances to use it. Itadori would also overtake him later. So, this is just kind of like an interesting take on Black Flash in accordance to this fight. We're back into it. Choso's back. Choso and Yuji are working together, trying to hold Sukuna down for a second. Choso's trying to use his blood technique. Maki comes in with the sword, not working. Once again, not all of these just aren't working, and they're just catching Sukuna with these black flashes. It seems like, which Gojo really didn't go into detail about, when people use Black Flash, it seems like a buff. It seems like if you use Black Flash, you can it's like, I don't know, it's like destroying a binding vow. It's like you get stronger from it. Because the more Sukuna's doing Black Flash, he's getting his power back.
Right. Which
And
seems counterintuitive.
yeah, like the explanation Gojo gives for the Black Flash makes no sense as to why Sukuna's getting stronger with the Black Flash. And I don't remember us really going into what the Black Flash is,
Right.
because Gojo used it to kind of help himself heal. Sukuna's doing that now. It's just, I don't know. It's I think I'm gonna have to visit the wiki after this. But um Sukuna uses Black Flash and he's kind of getting his strength back, he's getting his speed back, and everyone's kind of noticing it. He catches Black Flash with Choso, but Choso uses like blood armor to dodge it. Um and Yuji gets back in the fight. He tries to use piercing blood. He kind of catches Sukuna, but he has an opening for Black Flash. Sukuna sees it coming and kind of gets this sense of danger, which, as they put it, reminds you of the Mojito fight. And
Hmm.
then LaRue grabs Sukuna's attention with his curse technique, which has it so Sukuna catches a Black Flash, like a strong one, and it says in the last two panels, Black Flash releases Yuji's potential amidst a shower of black sparks. Yuji Itadori has awakened. So what does that mean? Choso did mention that Yuji doesn't have um, the piercing blood technique down. So does that mean that because he got another Black Flash, like it's like luck is in his favor? It just, I don't know. It seems like Black Flash is like It's like what's guy's power with the roulette?
Oh, Hakati.
Hikari. It
Yeah.
seems like Black Flash is like Hikari's power. The more you hit it, the luckier you get, or like you
Mhm.
just get a buff. I don't know. Um, Maybe we gotta go back into some chapters to really get into what Black Flash really does, or why it's such a this crazy thing. But how this plays out later will be interesting. Yuji got Sukuna, and Yuji hitting Sukuna is not good for Sukuna. So how this plays out later will be very interesting. We'll see Yuji awaken next chapter. What the fuck that looks like, I have no idea.
Mm.
But hey, it is what it is. TJ, what you think?
Um, I mean, I'll just start at the top of my thoughts. Sukuna's body was engineered. This is covering both chapters, similar to Bryce. Sukuna's body was engineered in the ultimate to be the ultimate curse user's physique. So with the crew being able to shut down some of his arms and stomach mouth, that's halved some of his power. Not to mention all the damage Yuji is doing by disrupting the flow of cursed technique or cursed energy. Um, because of the sheer insanity that was the battle with Gojo, Sukuna has yet to even regain his reverse curse technique, even while fully reincarnated. So he's been handing out hands. He couldn't even really heal himself this whole time, right? I'm happy Maki didn't die. Um, Shout out to Chozo for still being in the game. Shout out to the crew for not questioning Miguel and LaRue as they just jumped in. We need to address Gojo being racist when describing Miguel's abilities. Um, with that being said, though, no disrespect to Capoeira, but the nigga's curse technique is basically keeping up like dancing, right? And Afro beats, right? Now,
Yeah,
to be fair to Capoeira too, it is a martial art hidden in dance, and there are some very important reasons why that was the case.
yes it
Slavery.
is.
Um,
Yes
but
indeed.
it's like, it's like on the one hand, Gege Akutami gives us a black character that's calling out racism. But on the other hand, it's like you're giving us a black character who's
Whose power is beatboxing? This
he's
motherfucker.
he's b-boying, right? He's
Yeah,
basically Lucio from Overwatch, if you ever played Overwatch. Which is like, I mean, I'll take what I can get, I guess. I'm At the end of the day, we're happy to see diversity in manga. Well, let me be more specific. To see black
yeah.
people show up in manga, man. It's pretty fucking dope when you're like looking at a series you like and
Yes
you
it
see someone
is.
who looks like you, right?
Now
Um,
we just need to work on them voice actors.
my
Looking at
G,
you, Ninja Kamui.
my G.
Kamui
Sorry.
had me fucked up. Sorry, I had to go
Hey,
through it.
bro, I watched the subs, dog. I didn't even want to see it because once I saw a boy come out with a high top, high ass, like kid and play top, and I was
And
like,
all he
well,
does is talk about his
this
fade. Like,
this
nigga,
can't this
you
can't be
are,
great. Like,
you in an evil organization, my nigga. Just not focus on your hair, bro. Really?
I was like, hey, bro was low key blinged out, had the fade. I was like, well, not every single character is gonna be a winner, right?
This nigga
Like,
said,
I was
yeah,
just like,
man. Y'all trying to say the world, nigga. I'm trying to have the cleanest fade on this fucking planet.
I'm just like, all right, well, okay, like.
A high top fade, my nigga.
I was like,
Jesus.
it was honestly like, we're still doing this in 2024, huh?
Yeah,
Like,
that was a
it's like,
random ass tangent. I'm so
it
sorry.
was, but it was warranted. Um, all right. Oh, it was cool seeing Yuji use blood bending. Well, it's
Yep.
not blood bending in Jujutsu Kaisen. It's like the convergence technique. But it was cool
Mhm.
seeing him use basically what is kind of like his birthright. I still think there's a question mark as to whether or not his mom was a sorcerer, because technically speaking, Kenjaku body hopped into his mom. So maybe his mom was a curse user and had some type of technique that we don't know about. So
Yeah.
I
Maybe
still
she was a
got
descendant of Sukuna.
ooh, ooh. I'm not ready for that conversation yet. Like my
Maybe.
mind,
There's got to be
bro.
a reason why he chose her.
Hey,
Or
and he's
maybe,
like
or maybe,
he's got some eyes and level planning to him, so I don't think you're wrong.
or maybe
Uh,
it's Yuji. It's Yuji's dad who was a descendant of Sukuna.
but what about his grandpa?
The grandpa could be
Remember,
a descendant of Sukuna. It
true,
might have been like if enough time has passed, maybe their
right?
family just wasn't involved with that shit.
Right.
I can believe that Sukuna was out here fucking.
All right.
Sorry.
Uh, uh, it
I'm just
looks like
saying.
it. All right, Bryce, we're pushing past it. It looks
Right.
like Sukuna might be on the ropes. Yep. If you look at the paper, if you look at the stats on paper, things aren't looking bad, or things are starting to look bad for Sukuna. With that being said, Sukuna takes it by KO in the fifth round. Don't have hope, y'all. Just, just don't. I know, I know. I saw the last page, the last panel of the chapter 2. Yuji's awakened. Look, look, it
Yeah.
just let that hope go. If
Damn.
they if look, this is what I'm gonna I know it sounds bad. I get it. If the good guys win, it'll be awesome. I'm sure that it'll come at a crazy cost because that tab is looking pretty crazy as we speak, but it'll be awesome if the good guys win. I'm just saying, if the bad guys win, let's not be surprised. That's all I'm saying at the end of the day. That's where I'm gonna leave it for Jujutsu Kaisen for me.
This man TJ said, nigga, please.
Bryce, we've been through this roller coaster together, dog. Like you know
I
exactly.
get it.
Like it's just
I get it.
like remember like somebody posted on social media like fans are starting to turn on Jujutsu Kaisen. I was like, I understand it.
Yeah.
like I really do. Uh, just pushing us to the limits of patience, really. But
Yeah.
anyway, why don't we get into our favorite chapter this week, Bryce?
My favorite chapter this week has to be it has to it's not even close. It's really Sakamoto Days.
I would,
Sakamoto Days
uh,
really.
yeah, yeah. I would say Sakamoto Days. And I'm gonna mention the last chapter of Kengan Omega only because I caught up.
Oh
So,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
that
that count.
hey Ryan came back, bro. What was that sword called? The bitch nigga eater, whatever.
Yep.
But he came back
He
with that
said
katana, bro. Like,
he said run run them. That's what the sword called. Run back them fades.
like
Run the bitches back.
and he came
The
and did work.
equalizer.
He came and did work, bro.
Yeah, nah, he wasn't playing.
He was like, he had that
He said, I'm not
Tupac
playing with you
troublesome
niggas.
playing in the background. He's like, oh.
But fo make sure all your kids don't grow. He had that energy.
Yeah,
It was
that
that.
energy, bro. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I had to give an honorable mention to Ken God because man, hey, look, I know Bryce has been doing his part hyping up Ken God on the podcast, but Matt and I
Bruh,
caught up onto that shit. The hype is warranted, y'all.
I
Look,
told
this
y'all,
is coming
bruh.
from someone who's, read Kenichi, read Karate Shokoshi, uh
Yeah,
currently still reading Baki. Kengan is different. It's
different,
just
y'all.
different. Look, if we're just talking like Kengan, like literally let's say Oma versus Baki, okay, that's a conversation we can have. But I need y'all to understand there are some niggas in this Kengan universe who would give a lot
Crazy.
of the
Yeah,
niggas in the Baki universe some trouble. Hey, they're real nigga, Devil Lance Kuroki Gensai. That's not one to trifle with. Like
yeah.
that's you leave that Yujiro, leave that nigga
That's
alone.
his
He
full name. We didn't make
like,
that up.
leave that
Like we
nigga
read it, and we
alone,
was like,
bro.
damn. I guess we gotta call him that. That's the only thing that we call
The
him.
real nigga Devil Lance, bro.
Yeah,
Like, you know, this is a man who put the art in front of everything else. Like, this is a man who does not even get a lineup, an edge up, bro. He's got the full on lines, man. How do you think you could win against someone who's put the art first, bro? Anyway,
and you know what we talk about because if you read mangas and animes and shit, you know you see that character that gave everything up for the hands. You know they look like they
yeah.
stink. They look like they stink.
but
This
you
nigga looked
but
like
you're
he
not
smelled
telling
like
them that.
ass and pine.
Yeah, it's like you ain't telling them that. You don't want that smoke. Like, oh,
Yeah.
oh my god. But anyway, that was a long ass tangent. My bad, y'all.
No,
Should we go into our topic of the week?
Let's go into the topic of the week.
What
What would be the
anime?
anime slash manga world you would vacation in?
All right, I'm gonna go first. So my first thought is like, what? Where would I not vacation in? Because I'm like, hey, a lot of these series I love couldn't do it, dog. Even if it was
That's
just like
fair.
a day, I'd be like, hey, bro, I'm gonna just stay at the airport, and even that's not a guarantee for my safety. But I also remembered, hey, there is quite a bit of slice of life out there, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Nichijou. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Nichijou, but if you've ever seen that gif of a girl basically like DDTing a goat, like it's from that anime Nichijou, where she
Okay.
like basically takes the goat, hits him with a spin move, and drops the goat on its head. That's from Nichijou. But like if all I have to deal with is shenanigans of that caliber, that's fine by me. Azumanga Daioh, same thing. I want to say Azumanga Daioh walks so Nichijou could run. Same thing. Shenanigans. Hey, I can just be regular. That's fine by me, dog. The Way of the House Husband.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, if all I have to do is worry about, some creepy looking former Yakuza people who really just have my best interests at heart, and I'm just on my business doing some vacation shit, like that's fine by me, player. Um, okay, on the extreme tip, Psychopaths. Hear me out.
Whoa.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. All right. I'm vacationing.
Vacation.
Technically speaking, technically speaking, that society was engineered to be safe. Yes, there were some outliers, but technically speaking, Bryce, it
You
should
wow.
be safe. It
You
should be
wow, TJ.
safe, bro.
You wow.
It's a strong asterisk on Psychopaths. It's a strong asterisk. But in theory, hear me out. In theory, it should be a safe place to vacation in, bro.
TJ, you are currently in living in the Chicago area, maybe a Chicago suburb, but like enough Chicago is around you.
No,
If
I'm in
you were
Chicago, bro. I'm like, I'm out here over by Cicero, dog. What you mean, bro?
Yeah, okay, well, definitely hear me. If you were to go to the Psychopass universe, the crime coefficient that would just appear on a screen, you would be a fucking world ending event because they gonna be thinking how the fuck did we even have somebody that got this high? And you just saying hi and shit. They confused. They scared. And the gun is go pick you up and then explode. That's
Where
crazy.
you from? Chicago? Boom.
Boom.
My bad.
Every time we point the gun at him and it blows up. What's happening? They asking you to leave. They still trying to be polite and shit.
I was like, it was an 18-hour flight, yo. What you mean?
What do you mean here? Exactly. Motherfucker, I ain't going nowhere. Fuck out of here. Oh my God, it got higher. Dear God.
Yeah, Christ. I'm the problem in the Psychopaths universe. Shit.
Bro, yes. We are all the problem in the Psychopath universe.
oh, oh God. All right. That was mine. I'm a bat. And I'll say this. Basically, any universe, any series where there's like no world-ending calamity on a daily basis or regular basis is cool with me. I'm gonna pass it over to you, Bryce.
Man, look, I thought about it long and hard. The only world, the only one, I'd be like, all right, let's do this. Is Zoids. Zoids, new
Hold
center.
on. Hold on. You talking about the universe that has sentient, pilotable mecha, but some of these mecha are from a different time where they weren't pilotable and go on rampages every now and then?
Hell
Like,
yeah.
you would want to live there?
Yes.
Where you basically
Fam,
have
I get
mecha
to
Godzillas? Okay.
fam. You telling me you not trying to pilot a Berserk Fury
I
or a
didn't.
Liger Zero?
I am not addressing whether or not I would like to pilot it. The answer is yes.
What if you run it exactly? What if you get like one of them crazy ones that evolve? You remember when the Shield Liger evolved into the Blade Liger?
That was pretty sick. That's besides that shit's dangerous, Bryce. Like
Bruh,
that's a
that's the
vacation
risk
you
worth
might not be
taking,
able to
fam.
come back from, bro.
That's the risk worth taking.
One way
You
ticket,
can't really
please.
take an L in that universe if you pilot the Zoids, bro. The worst
uh,
thing is you get one of them centipede Zoids. I'd be
uh,
mad as hell. I'd be like, I failed in this world. I failed. A centipede Zoid? Hell no. Nah.
I need at least a liger. Give
I
me
did
one of
exactly.
the
Give me a
shadow
liger.
wolves. Like, uh, that's wild as hell. My boy was like, yes, I would like the universe with the Mecha Godzillas, please.
Yes. And please.
Shit, dude.
Please. Am I wrong? That would be fucking awesome. I fucking end up in the desert and I go into a cave and there's a fucking, I don't know. There's just something in there for me, nigga. I got a new friend. I
I
got a house. I
now
got a
that
house,
is
nigga.
that
I can live in that cockpit.
that is that is such an optimistic take. Like I'm just like,
Who getting bodied by Zoids like that, my nigga? I mean, there was some people getting bodied by Zoids, but they
yeah,
was in
bro.
other Zoids.
Like I'm just
They was
like,
in other Zoids, bro.
uh, I don't know. I feel like Zoids never really showed the aftermath for some niggas.
Hell nah, bro. You gotta watch
That
the
shit was
Void
off
Century.
screen. That shit
That
was
Void
off.
Century was crazy, bro.
Huh.
Motherfuckers had them saving them that dude was crazy with the Geosaurus.
Yeah, well, that's the type of fucking Zord I'm talking. Wasn't the Geosaurus like a fucking untamable till it got tamed or some shit?
But he got tamed.
Yeah, but it was running hella wild up until that point.
I mean, hey, so
My boy's like, it's still worth the risk.
it's still worth it.
I'm like, you
Hey,
fucking
what's the worst thing? Oh, I got taken out by a Geosaurus. What's the best thing? Yo, I got a fucking Geosaurus.
oh my god.
Yo, Halaberia, hallelujah, my friend.
Oh my god.
Tell me when I'm wrong.
I I just I got I don't know what to say,
Tell me when
bro.
I'm wrong, bro.
It's like you're not wrong, but you wilding. like,
It's not
like
wild, bro.
it,
I get a fucking Zoid.
uh,
It's worth it if you get a Zoid. Any bullshit you run into the Zoid universe is fine if you get a Zoid. And
but I mean,
chances are
like,
you're gonna get a Zoid.
because like, because you could also make that argument for like a Gundam universe that's like, yeah,
Nah,
war,
nah, that's not the same
but I
thing,
can get a
bro.
mech. Like,
That's
what?
not the
No, what do you
same
mean it's not
thing.
the same thing?
It's not the same, bro. It's not the same. We
The risks
we
are
we
basically the same if you're like in one of the colonies
no, it's not.
on Earth.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You in Void Century, you going off Void Century rules, fam? Ain't no fucks given in that universe, bro. I told you how petty they are in that universe. Me and Matt
Yeah.
have arguments about this all the time. Motherfucker,
Yeah.
like, want to blame a whole other. I don't even want to get into it. The
That's
Nightmare of
fine.
Solomon shit is petty as fuck.
You
Nightmare of
always
Solomon
bring
is
that
petty.
up. Yeah.
SARS petty. Amuro petty. Everybody petty, bro. It's just pettiness. It's pettiness, and it will never
And
stop.
nuclear weapons.
Motherfuckers get you a human and you get beam sabered. That ain't even supposed to be happening. And you knew exactly what the fuck I was talking about as soon as I said that.
I know which one you're talking about, where
How
dude
you
puts it right
how you
over the
not even
thing,
in the Gundam
cuts
and
it
you
on
get
right
beam
quick,
sabered?
cuts it off. Like, what the fuck, bro? That
Bro, he
was so
said, you know
fucked
what?
up.
Click.
Yeah.
He got fucking disintegrated like a fucking Dragon Ball Z character in a
Oh.
Gundam world. This is supposed to be war, bro. There's rules for this shit. He ain't care, bro. He had to broke some type of law. And if it's not a law, that's worse.
You know, the
It's
laws couldn't
worse,
keep
bro.
up. The laws couldn't keep up. We when we wrote these, we didn't know that niggas would have fucking pilotable giant robots in space.
Hey,
Like,
you remember when Shar like sent a comet to destroy a planet,
Yeah.
and he just ended up destroying a continent type shit. Nah, bro. Nah. Miss me with all of that.
Well, on that note, y'all, unless you got anything else you want to say, Bryce.
Bro, Gundam is wild as fuck. And I'm sorry I went on this whole tangent, but like Gundam and Zoids is different, G. Gundam and Zoids is different.
That's fair.
So different.
But shit, with that, y'all, this brings us to the end of another episode of the Now Mind You podcast. Once again, this is episode 112 manga. Thank you as always for your support. Thank you for spreading the word about the Now Mind You podcast. Of course, you can find the podcast on any podcast distribution platform, including YouTube, if you just search for Now Mind You podcast. Any social media platform you just want to look for at Now Mind You Pod. That's NOWMINDYOUPOD. Um, excuse me. And then lastly, if you go into our social media, click the link in our bio, it'll take you to our flow page, which actually contains all the links to everything I just mentioned. With that, you can find me on Instagram at Tuss4skate. That's TUSS number 4_SKATE. Bryce, where can they find you?
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Ashe_Onsa. That's AXE_ONCA, baby. And where can they find Matt?
Y'all can find Matt because his branding is strong as hell at
Wrong.
Matt Hambrick on everything. That's MATTHAMBRIC. Thank you all so much for listening. Hope you have a great week.
Yeah.
And we'll either catch you on the next one or we'll catch you in the combat episode, y'all. Peace.
Peace.